Today in Clash of Clans, we paint by numbers with Curtis D2. What is up, you guys? It is your host, Galadon, and we're going to get right down to business. Maybe 90% of you can't do this attack, but here it is, simple by the numbers to get this attack done and get massive damage on your enemy's base, as demonstrated by Curtis D2. Alright, so here you go. Left-hand side, you drop a couple of archers to get these exposed structures. At the top, the beta minion goes over the walls, gets these structures out of the way. On the far left, you're going to use a single bomber, just going to one-shot that wall. Then the battle machine comes in, it tanks the defenses as the cannons come in behind the battle machine and clear out everything on the far left-hand side up to the crusher. Now, of course, the defending guard post troops are down. Drop another bomber bottom left. This bomber just, again, one-shotting this wall, allowing archers to get into those cannons inside the higher level wall. Then you're going to pick off a few more structures with archers and, of course, with beta minions at the very top until you've got those outer structures out of the way. A single bomber, once again, top right, gets that wall open. That allows more archers to move in and take out more structures. Now you've got a star for damage. You've got another bomber bottom right doing the same thing. Rinse, repeat. More archers moving in. One more minion on the far left-hand side to take out the double cannon. Then a fan of beta minions come in, take out the builder hall for the second star, and that's it. There you go. How to wipe out a high-level base. And you don't even need maxed out troops to do it. So yes, there are a lot of steps to this attack, and the reason it's so difficult is you have to be able to recognize the different zones that are protected, say, from a minion, the different areas where just one archer can get through, and it's complicated and you don't have a lot of time to do it. So this is an attack that will get easier over time. As you have practice, you'll be able to recognize the patterns, the structures, setups in the bases, the ranges of archer towers and things like that. And as this works out, it's going to be different, of course, in every single base, because even bases that look like they're identical have minor changes, slight differences in arrangements of air defenses, ground defenses that will completely ruin an attack if you try to template an attack and do the exact same thing on a different base. You need to be able to analyze and break down a base quickly and get in there and act quickly, because you'll notice this attack takes the full 3 minutes, and mostly it's because of the archers and their cloak. Now, yes, of course it was nerfed, but they are still very strong. Occasionally at Builder Hall 8, we are seeing players using only archers. Now, I wouldn't recommend that normally, but right here, Curtis showing how what is a modification of what we talked about in an earlier video, the kitchen sink attack, where you're bringing multiple different types of units. I mean, he's got ground and air, normally not recommended, but there are a lot of places where an archer is not going to get the job done as well as a beta minion. At the beginning of this attack, if you look back, you'll see a single beta minion at the top end of this base took out 5 buildings until it was within range of the air bombs on the right hand side. So that's huge, recognizing where one unit can do a ton of damage like that. And also look at the bottom right, check out where the bomber is. Because of the other structures being taken out, the bomber didn't just get through the wall, it also took out the 2 structures just inside that wall, and now the archers have a straight path with that cloak to get into those cannons at the bottom. Now, Curtis, using up a lot of archers right here, only has a few left, and the big critical move on this attack is what I like to call the minion fan. Okay, this fan of minions, and you'll notice Curtis has 8 minions left over right here. He's just about to get these last 2 double cannons out of the way, and as he does, that leaves a direct shot for these last minions to come in from the top. Now, of course, they are going to be within range of the air bombs and the roaster, but this many minions, usually 5 or 6, fanned out like that so that one air bomb doesn't take everybody out, one roaster shot doesn't fry all of your minions, and there you go. The builder hall goes down, a very end of the battle second star. Curtis saving himself 3 more minions, could have gotten a few more percentage points right here, but he's actually going to run out of time. 77% damage, a huge attack on a nearly maxed out base. And again, we'll show some other attacks. This one completely maxed out walls, but easily taken down. Pretty much the same strategy, just slight adjustments. A lot of players are leaving that top vulnerable to the minion fan. And although you'll notice different units are used in different places here, the minion fan is something that is consistent across all of these attacks. That late group of minions fanned out for effectiveness, and so they don't get one-shotted, picking up the builder hall for the second star. So check out very bottom. Curtis sees that that bomber is going to be out of range of the long-range archer tower, and sure enough, not just getting the walls down, but getting some structures down at the bottom too. That is almost something that people are afraid to do sometimes, and that is drop a bomber by itself. Remember, it doesn't always have to have a tank protecting it. If it's out of range like that, that single bomber at the bottom of your screen did a great job. And despite the high level walls, of course the archers, they're just going to run right around that double layer of walls protecting the Teslas and get those out, because again, the cloak is still effective. On the right hand side, the bomber really only needs one shot, but check it out one more time. Out of range of anything, he's going to continue on, get a little bonus damage right there before the multi-mortar takes him down. Now he's done damage to the Star Lab and to the gold storages, and that's going to allow the archers to get through them more quickly. Bottom left, more archers coming in outside of the range of most defenses, and usually only one is necessary for a lot of these structures. Now you'll notice right there, not quite. It's going to take a second archer, but a second archer gets both of those structures. On the bottom left, normally one archer will get a camp out of the way, and it's going to move on and work on that next elixir collector. So again, look at the time. It is running short. You need to pace yourself. It's tough because you need to use the archer's cloak to the best of its ability, but you need to watch out that you don't run out of time. At the top of your screen, single beta minion, just barely out of range of the air bombs, gets that cannon out of the way, and now the minion fan, like we saw in the first attack, easily comes in, and despite the fact that they're fanned way out from each other, they all target the builder hall and get it out of the way. That's the first star in this case. Now Curtis has dropped the battle machine late down here, but it's going to do basically the same thing that we broke down in the first one, and that is watch it grab the attention of the archer tower and the longer range single cannon. Now, as the battle machine goes after that gap in the walls, that does abandon that archer tower that turns and fires on the bottom cannon, but nonetheless, all of those defenses go down. And look on the left-hand side of your screen, Curtis had a leftover bomber. He recognized the fact that the giant cannon is being distracted facing right, and the bomber is going to move in on the left-hand side and work on the gold storage, one more archer, the leftover minions as well. And now Curtis absolutely destroys this base, but runs out of time. Would have easily been above 80%, but he ran out of time. Again, this attack using up all of the 3 minutes if you are patient enough. And that's one of the keys to getting this attack down, is being extremely patient and not panicking, not worrying that you are going to run out of time. You'll notice that basically Curtis swagged a few of those units. That high of a damage, very rarely is an opponent going to beat that unless you've got a lower level or underdeveloped base. And I just want to touch on this real quickly. I know some people complain that they're facing players that are a higher builder hall level than they are. Just a reminder, you're good. That is why you're facing players that have a better base, because you have about the same trophies that they do, and unfortunately it's just the way things are always going to work out. Eventually it will be a fairer playing field once everybody maxes out at Builder Hall 8, since we're not likely going to see a Builder Hall 9 anytime soon. And that's actually good for the game in my opinion, because if we've got a bunch of people maxed out at 8, giving the free-to-play players a chance to catch up, now finally we have a level playing field where it is truly skill-based, and this is something that has never existed in Clash of Clans, okay? I don't care what people say about Clan Wars. Yes, it does require great skill to pull out 3-star after 3-star, but when you combine the problem with war matchmaking, with engineering, and all the other things about a very complicated war base, there's just currently not a way to truly measure skill. Now, I'm not taking anything away from high-level clans that have massive wins or players that have huge numbers of war stars, but it's truly not a quantitative, fair way to show who the best players are. This is what you need. Now, could they implement something like this in Clan War? It's possible, but maybe that's off in a distant update. For now, this is the closest we are going to get, and this complicated attack is just about one of the most consistent attacks that you can pull off. Again, check it out, bottom of the screen, Curtis dropping out the minion fan. 5 minions one more time, even with the roaster and the air bombs up, are going to annihilate that builder hall, and he's already at 61% damage. And now, with only 40 seconds left, the battle machine and the cannons finally deployed. There's a bomber at the top of your screen as well. This is almost just gravy, extra percentage points here. Now, I will say that at the very high levels, in the low 60s is not usually enough to win. Getting into the 70% range and higher is usually going to be enough to win, provided that you've got a well-developed and well-designed base. And as we fast forward through the rest of this attack, the minions go down, can't quite get the double cannon out of the way, time runs out, but it's another 77% 2-star with one of the most complicated attacks in Clash of Clans Builder Hall. So thank you guys as always for sticking around to the end. Make sure you check me out live streaming on twitch.tv/GalladonCoc almost every single day. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Be kind to other people. Be positive. Be a glass half full person. And I'll see you again tomorrow for more full attacks.
Gallydon, this episode was too long. You didn't leave room for Peter $17.